You gonna get your bloodlust cured with this one, okay? The movie is violent. Y'all, look, what I told y'all, what did I tell y'all makes a great atmosphere? An isolated location. I thoroughly enjoy horror stories that deal with the devil and supernatural, because I be like, baby, how you gonna fight the devil? What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, guys, I will be talking horror movies. It is almost All Hallows Eve, boils and ghouls. And I have two favorite holidays. One is a holiday my family invented, and that is Friday the 13th, child. Anytime it is Friday the 13th, that is a holiday. I don't care. We made that up. So in this video, I will be giving you 31 horror movies for every day in October. Now, in no particular order, let's get right into the list. Number one, You're Next. From 2013, listed as horror thriller, a family is attacked by a group of mysterious killers during a trip to their vacation home. I thoroughly enjoy this movie, and it is definitely a great watch for Halloween. We have a lead that makes smart decisions, because child, you know the horror movie formula, they always got to do stupid-ish. This is a really great home invasion horror movie. It's bloody, it's brutal, it's fun, it's entertaining, great pacing. One thing that I love, that I think makes a great horror movie, one piece of the formula that is very important to me, is an isolated location. To feel cut off from the rest of the world, and we get an isolated location in this movie. Now, number two is Life. From 2017, listed as horror sci-fi thriller, we have scientists in space who discover a new life form that threatens all life on Earth. Very reminiscent of the formula we got in Alien, or the story we got in Alien, but I don't know if this is a controversial take, but I'm gonna say Life is better than Alien. Not better than Aliens, but it's better than Alien. I thoroughly enjoy Life. I think it takes a familiar idea and just really surpasses it. It's a great execution. It is a very familiar story, guys. However, it really feels like they breathe a breath of fresh air. They breathed in something new, really thrilling, great horror sci-fi elements in this movie. Turn off all the lights and watch this for Halloween. Oh, and y'all, the ending of Life is Chef's Kiss. Now, it's no spoilers in this video, child, but I'm just gonna say the ending is Chef's Kiss. It is my kind of ending. If you know me, you know what that means. Number three, The Cave. From 2005, listed as adventure, horror, sci-fi thriller. We have a group of divers who discover creatures when they become trapped in an underground cave. I love a creature feature, child. Now, The Cave starts off way more intriguing than it actually turns out, but it is a really fun and entertaining creature feature. Again, we have an isolated location. I really love the environment of being in a dark cave. It's a pretty typical cliche story, very cliche characters, but I think it is a really entertaining movie. Great Halloween watch. Just sit back, turn your brain off. Like, you can't really, we got some story issues. It's a little flawed, but it's definitely very entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Number four is a movie that I still remember watching when it first came out, and it made me fall in love with Michelle Rodriguez. Resident Evil from 2002, listed as action, horror, sci-fi. We have an elite military team and a few civilians who fight against zombies in an underground lab called The Hive. Now, Resident Evil did not spawn a great franchise, child, but this is a really great horror survival film, zombie film. Again, we got an isolated location. I'm telling you, that is a great piece to the formula. It just adds that extra layer of suspense and hopefulness for the characters that we follow. We also, in this one, get a ticking clock, which is another formula that I think is just really makes an intense story. I still remember the excitement of when I first saw this, and I actually still get that excitement every time I see this movie. This is just a really great, entertaining, fun time. Number five, Terrifier. From 2016, listed as horror thriller. We have a clown that goes on a murder spree on Halloween night. The Terrifier, y'all, is the type of horror that I was obsessed with as a kid. Mindless gore. My mom always liked a good scary story. I just wanted to see, you know, gore and violence. And baby, that is what you get with Terrifier. It is mindless gore. It is completely ridiculous. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it is so freaking stupid. Particularly a scene we get with a mother, her baby, and a clown, but I won't elaborate no more. Definitely the ultimate Halloween watch if you are just in line for some mindless gore and a good time. Number 6, Jeepers Creepers, 2001, listed as horror mystery. We have 2 siblings traveling through the country who become targets of a mysterious creature. Y'all, it's Jeepers Creepers. Do I need to say anything about it? This is a classic. If it's not a classic, it should be a classic. It's definitely a classic to me. If you have never seen it, get to watching it ASAP. Definitely on the Mount Rushmore of creature features, monster movies. They do just about everything right in this one. Number 7, Slither. From 2006, listed as comedy, horror, sci-fi. We have an alien meteor that hits a small town. Nah, child. If you're familiar with my channel, you know if there's one thing I hate, it is comedy horror. However, sometimes they get it right, child, and this is a moment where they really got it right. Slither is a gem. This is just a really good time. This is how you do comedy horror. Now, I don't care what kind of leprosy you got. We got to find that girl. This movie is so freaking stupid. It is such a good time. But fair warning, it is disgusting. Number 8, The Hills Have Eyes. Remake from 2006. Listed as horror thriller. A remake that, in my opinion, surpasses the original. Now, the original is good, so you should check that out. But I'm only listing the remake in this one. We have a family traveling through the desert as they fall victim to mutated cannibals. Y'all, this is intense, unsettling, thrilling, suspenseful, top tier horror movie making. Okay? Very brutal, very hard to watch at times. This is definitely a good one. Turn out the lights, cut up next to your boo, and get to watching The Hills Have Eyes. And I guarantee you will never travel through the canyons alone. Number 9, The Faculty from 1998, listed as horror, mystery, sci-fi. A high school gets taken over by aliens. It's Attack of the Body Snatchers with 90s teens. Now, I debated putting this on a list because it is on my 90s list. But baby, you can't have Halloween without The Faculty, okay? Really effective and fun horror sci-fi. Coming in at number 10, Dr. Sleep from 2019, listed as drama, fantasy, horror, thriller. This is the follow-up to the movie The Shining. Y'all, Dr. Sleep for me was the best movie of 2019. I was so blown away by this movie. Look, nothing is perfect, but baby, they dang near got there. Like, they pretty much just about hit perfect. Nothing is more of a hard watch to me than when folks be doing stuff to kids in these little horror movies, child. And so, yeah, we get that in this, so prepare yourself. But what I really love about this, besides just being such a great story, great movie, is that our main villain is a woman played by Rebecca Ferguson. And baby, look, I was scared of her. Look, she's scary, okay? Love her. Maybe one of my favorite villains from a horror movie ever. Coming in at number 11, Saw from 2004, listed as horror, mystery, thriller. We have 2 strangers who wake up trapped in a room. Now, child, Saw did not, spawn the greatest franchise, just like Resident Evil. However, Saw did spawn a really great trilogy. So I'm going to include all three movies in this listing. Saw 1, 2, and 3 is coming in at number 11. But y'all, look, the first Saw is particularly a very superior movie. One of the best horror thrillers ever. So brilliantly executed. Y'all, Saw 1, 2, and 3. Just put it on and watch. Coming in at number 12, 30 Days of Night from 2007, listed as action, adventure, horror, thriller. We have a group of vampires who attack an Alaskan town that is isolated for its normal full month of darkness. Does it have its flaws? Yes, but this is a really fun, thrilling, effective vampire horror. In my opinion, one of the best vampire movies of all times. Y'all, look, what I told y'all, what did I tell y'all makes a great atmosphere? An isolated location. Number 13 is Annabelle Creation from 2017, listed as horror, mystery, thriller. Part of the Conjuring universe, a couple opens their home to a group of orphans and a nun who becomes targets of Annabelle. While very flawed, this definitely surpasses the Annabelle film. Annabelle Creation has a really good atmosphere, and most of the things that they got wrong with Annabelle, they got right with Creation. The possession, psychological horror, I love that. Very interesting story, great execution. Look, Annabelle just don't exist to me. It's just Annabelle Creation. Number 14, The Skeleton Key from 2005, listed as drama, horror, mystery, thriller. A hospice nurse in New Orleans gets caught in a mystery of hoodoo. Really, really effective atmosphere. Great horror story. This will not cure your bloodlust. Don't go into this looking for no gore or a high body count. It is just a really great, effective horror story. Great Halloween watch. Number 15, child, is probably, arguably, my number one favorite horror movie of all time. I have been obsessed with this movie since I was a kid. Y'all, look. I've been getting clowned for this movie my whole life, but I know real horror fans got love for this movie just like I do. Number 15, The Blob from 1988, listed as horror, sci-fi, thriller. A meteor from space hits a small town. I love the original The Blob, but baby, the 80s one, this is my jam. It really surpasses the original in my personal opinion. Now look, child, if you go watch this for the first time, the technology don't look the best. It's from the 80s. But this is such a classic, and I feel like it has stood the test of time. I still thoroughly enjoy this movie. I literally watch this movie every single solitary year. Such a classic, very 80s, just such a fun, entertaining creature feature monster flick. Is The Blob a monster, y'all? I think The Blob is a monster. One of my favorite movies of all time, y'all. I can't rave about The Blob enough. If you have not seen it, check it out. Number 16, Pitch Black from 2000, listed as action, horror, sci-fi, thriller. A transport ship crash lands on a deserted planet that is inhabited by creatures who only come out at night. And baby, they just so happen to crash land as soon as the planet is about to go dark. This is likely pretty much my number one favorite Vin Diesel role ever of all time. Pitch Black for me is on the Mount Rushmore of creature features, monster movies, and one thing that I love, I hate when stuff happens in the dark in movies and you can't hardly see nothing. For a movie that is comprised of a whole lot of ish going down in the dark, the lighting is top tier. It's amazing. We get a great atmosphere. We get an isolated location. We get a ticking clock. Great suspense. Really intense, thrilling, damn near perfect movie. Coming in at number 17, Drag Me to Hell. Listed as horror, a law officer finds herself cursed. Now, I got mixed feelings about Drag Me to Hell. Great movie, very well done, but I cannot stand the goat scene, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. It just got a little too silly for me, and I don't like silly in my horror. Now, not when I know is, you know, or feel it's supposed to be a straight horror. Like if it was listed as comedy horror, I would let the silliness slide, but it ain't. Now, number 18 is a movie that when I first saw it, I hated it. Like I hated it to the depths of my being. But over the years on rewatches, I actually really love this movie. If it is one thing I hate, it is found footage. I cannot stand found footage horror. Throw the whole subgenre away, except for this movie. Number 18, As Above, So Below, from 2014, listed as horror mystery thriller. We have a group that goes underground in Paris through the catacombs and discovers way more than they were searching for a child. Look, I hate found footage, but this is how you do found footage. One thing that I love is it never makes sense to me when niggas be holding cameras in these movies. But in As Above, So Below, we have cameras on our little hat thingy that got a light because, you know, we going underground, so they got those little things on there. We got a regular camera. Like, I love how they did that. Now, I will always hate shaky cam. And I will always hate not being able to clearly see stuff in the frame because, you know, they got to move the camera how to, you know, freaking character move it because they supposed to be, you know, found footage. I can't stand a frenzy shot once we get to the action, and we get that in this, but I really love the story. I thoroughly enjoy horror stories that deal with the devil and supernatural because I'd be like, baby, how you gonna fight the devil? Number 19, The Cabin in the Woods. This is another movie that I hate it. I remember going to the movie theaters to see this and being so hyped because it's Josh Whedon, and I walked out of there hating this movie. But I love this movie. The Cabin in the Woods from 2011, listed as horror mystery thriller. 5 friends encounter evil when they vacation at a remote cabin. Now, I hated this movie on first watch because I'm not much of a preview kind of person. I be into them now for my channel when I, you know, review previews and stuff like that. But I'm the type of movie goer, I don't want to be seeing previews. I just want to see the movie. So I went into this. I did not really understand what I was in for. All the little cliche characters and cliche things that I hated. After watching it and learning more about the film, look, now I get it and I can enjoy the movie a lot more. I really, really love this movie. I think it is very smart. It is very Josh Whedon. If you're familiar with him, you know what that means. This is just a cinematic treasure. It's kind of a horror parody, horror homage, all wrapped up in one little Josh Whedon bubble. Everything you see in The Cabin in the Woods, you have seen in other movies, but you have never seen it like this. Coming in at number 20 is 2 movies in this one entry. The Evil Dead 1981, listed as horror, and Evil Dead, the remake from 2013, also listed as horror. We have friends who encounter the Book of the Dead while staying in a remote cabin. Do I need to say anything about Evil Dead, baby? It's a classic. I will never forget seeing Evil Dead when I was a kid. Love this movie, so classic, and I actually really in love. I actually really love the remake as well. Not child, Evil Dead is perfect. The remake, look, I love it. It's it's entertaining, but they go off the rails in the end, child. The decisions at the end of Evil Dead made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And it goes so far off the rails in the end that it kind of ruins the movie for me. But no, I ain't gonna let it ruin it because I thoroughly enjoy the ride until we get to the end. Evil Dead is just a gruesome, bloody, just horror fest of a good time. Number 21, 28 Days Later from 2002, listed as drama, horror, sci-fi thriller. We have a man who wakes up from a coma to find the UK has been taken over by zombies infected with the rage virus. This is a pretty perfect zombie movie. Look, child, give me the slow zombies and I might have a chance to survive, but these little frenzied rage virus fast zombies, not child. Really top tier zombie biohazard virus type of movie. Number 22, Splinter from 2008, listed as horror sci-fi thriller. 3 people find themselves trapped in a gas station by a parasite that transforms its victims. This is a really entertaining, low-budget horror movie. Not very original, okay, but very entertaining. They take some very tried and true formulas and breathe new life into it. In my opinion, it's very entertaining. It's a great execution. Look, the movie is flawed. It's low budget, so, you know, that gonna tell you how, you know, the little creature look. But just take it for what it is. It's a good time. Don't nitpick it, okay? Thoroughly entertaining Halloween watch. Coming in at number 23, Pandora from 2009, listed as action, horror, mystery, sci-fi thriller. We have 2 crew members who wake up on the spaceship from cryo sleep, hyper sleep. Y'all, what it be called in the space world? They wake up to find their other crew members missing, and baby, mayhem and like cannibals ensue. Really effective sci-fi horror. It has its flaws, but it is a great atmosphere. It is very well executed. It is a great horror sci-fi watch. Number 24, Ouija, Origin of Evil from 2016, listed as drama, horror, mystery, thriller. A mom and her 2 daughters are haunted by evil spirits in the 1960s. I was pleasantly surprised by Origin of Evil because, child, Ouija was terrible. Terrible. I love demon possession horror. I pretend like Origin of Evil is the only one that exists. Like, yo, Ouija, just throw that whole movie away. It don't exist. Origin of Evil for me is a good script. It's a good atmosphere. Really, really effective possession story, in my opinion. Number 25, The Descent from 2005, listed as adventure horror thriller. We have a group of friends who go on a cave diving adventure and encounter something lurking in the cave. Is this considered a classic? Because it should be. The Descent has a great tension that never lets up. A very claustrophobic feel is created that adds this just really great level of suspense. I love that they're underground in this cave. We cut off, we isolated. Really hits the mark. Number 26, The Collector from 2009, listed as action horror thriller. A desperate man, desperate for money, child, breaks into his employer's home, and unbeknownst to him, a sadistic killer has also targeted the family. Y'all, child, look, this is the tried and true gruesome horror formula. Extremely graphic, brutal, gruesome, bloody. You gonna get your bloodlust cured with this one, okay? The movie is violent. It is not for the squeamish. Number 27, Ready or Not from 2019, listed as action, comedy, horror, mystery, thriller. When meeting the in-laws goes wrong. A bride's wedding night turns into a fight for her life when a game of hide and seek turns sinister. Top tier comedy horror. Fun, entertaining. Our main character is not a complete idiot like we often see in the horror movie formula. The pacing is really good, especially once we really get into it. Number 28, The Crazies from 2010, listed as adventure horror. A toxic virus gets released in a small town. This is also a remake. The original is good. You know, it's a good movie. But yeah, we're going to go with the remake on this one, okay? Better than the original. Now, this movie for me, y'all, this is where it's at. This is so good. Great pacing. It follows the tried and true horror story formula. Execution is great. The suspense is there. Look, child, look, the little small town folk get unhinged. And the people who not infected got to fight to get out of the town. Number 29, Case 39 from 2009, listed as horror, mystery, thriller. A social worker fights to save a little girl only to discover she is not just an ordinary little girl. Y'all, look, child, this is creepy, suspenseful, thrilling, entertaining. Feels like just that good old-fashioned horror story. Creepy story. Really effective performances. Number 30, Mirrors from 2008, listed as horror, mystery. An ex-cop comes into contact with an evil that uses mirrors as a gateway. Really great story. Great great build-up, but you're going to love, hate, or feel indifferent about the ending, but it is a great, fun journey as we get there. Great pacing. You will not be bored. Good mystery, suspenseful, tense, creepy. I don't know who Esaka is. I love when that man say that. Number 31 is another 2 entries in 1 slot. The Thing from 1982, listed as horror, mystery, sci-fi. A team in Antarctica encounter a shape-shifting alien. Classic for a reason, okay? The Thing has aged amazingly. It is a horror masterpiece. Isolated location. When you got that, baby, you gonna probably have you a good movie. We have the perfect enemy as we get an alien who can perfectly replicate anyone. Y'all, I love the suspense and tension in this movie. I really don't think this kind of suspense has really been recreated like this ever again. Who else could have used the key? Nobody. I just use it and give it to Copper. Well, Doc, could anyone have gotten it from you? No, I give it right back. But like the way he looked, y'all, they was looking at each other like, nah, nigga, I know I'm human, but I don't know if you human. I just love the way they did that with this movie. I returned it right away. It's something about, if y'all see the scene, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's something behind the Doc do his face in that scene. Perfect suspense, great story, damn near perfect execution. And then the prequel. Look, child, it was smart for them to do a prequel and not just try to remake The Thing. The Thing from 2011, listed as horror, mystery, sci-fi. We get the story of the discovery of the alien craft that led to the events of the 1982 The Thing. I remember when this came out, y'all, and I remember being so pleasantly surprised because I just knew. I was like, yo, don't touch The Thing, okay? Because you just asking to be set up for failure. But they actually did really good. Look, is there anything offered in this story, in this movie that's new? No, but it is extremely enjoyable, very well executed, very effective horror sci-fi. And I loved getting the story of the Norwegian team and everything that happened there and how we got that dog. I love that. I love seeing that. Look, well, horror being my favorite genre, I could have named hundreds of horror movies, but I feel like these 31 are the fun, great Halloween watches. Whether you want just a good horror story, whether you want mindless gore, whether you want suspense, horror, comedy, horror, it's something on this list for everybody. Let me know in the comments, what is your go-to Halloween watch? For me, child, it is not Halloween without Evil Dead and Pet Cemetery. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.